Talking Live, I'm Dr. Robi Ludwig, right here in Times Square at Star Shop Studio. We are interviewing the fabulous Laura Geller. She is a makeup mogul, and she has been QVC's queen for over 20 years, and she is here to tell us about her business and how to look sexy for Valentine's Day, and we are thrilled to have her. Thank you so much for
Oh my
coming.
gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
We have been trying for this
Yes.
for a very long time, and
We
we
have.
finally made it happen, and you said the timing was perfect.
Yeah, actually, the timing is better now because we were going to do it like right by the holidays.
That's right, that's
but
right.
we just launched a bunch of new products that are going to blow your mind. And we didn't have it in December, and you may be some of the first to ever see it.
So we are showing things for the first time. We have some glittery things going on here.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And also, we are going to have links so that you can buy directly,
good.
because shopping always makes us happy. And listen, I think it's great that people can see what you're going to show.
Absolutely.
And then buy it and have it for themselves just in time for Valentine's Day, which is really right around the corner.
Yep, that's right. I always say makeup is guilt-free. I mean, let's face it. I mean,
is.
it may be the least expensive indulgence that makes you feel so stinking good.
It does.
Because it's quick and it's result-driven right away.
Absolutely.
That's why I went into the business.
Right. Right. Quick and easy once you learn how to do it.
That's right.
You
That's
certainly
right.
show us how to do it.
Thank you.
We were talking about, I was saying that I feel like I've known you forever, and I couldn't remember where we first met each other until my mother reminded me that you did my sister's wedding.
I know. She just told me this today.
Over 20 years ago. We actually just celebrated her 20th anniversary.
Happy
We have
anniversary.
a picture. Yeah, happy anniversary. Of Lori, my sister, my youngest sister, with my uncle, Mr. G, and we were laughing.
Well,
So
because
we have it there.
it's funny when I saw the picture, it was on when I showed up here this evening, and I said, "What is Mr. G doing in a picture? Is that his wife?" And then she was like, "No."
And you did our whole party.
There's Raimi.
So there's Raimi, my other sister, and you did my mother as well, and we all felt so glamorous. And I wish back in the day it was pre-cell phones.
I know.
And I would have taken a picture with you.
I know, that's such a shame.
So I feel like it was a missed opportunity.
Oh, well, it isn't, because we have see,
this
I
picture.
always said to my brides, listen, it's very important that you hire me, although I didn't have to twist the arm of your family.
I think you liked our family. We were pretty easy.
100%, because you have this picture that lasts a lifetime, 20
That's
years.
right.
It's embedded in your brain, how you look, and then your pictures speak volumes about how you feel and the memories of your wedding day.
I know, and just to have someone like you who was there was really incredible.
Thank you.
And it really shows the people out there that you started as a true makeup artist.
Yeah.
This was your passion when you were 12 years old.
Yes, that's
and
right.
You started in Broadway
Yes.
and socialite.
That's right. So at 12 years old, it was a moment where I was playing with makeup, but not necessarily putting it on my face, but I was so infatuated by how transformative it looked, because I had neighbors that just were always so put together and always looked so beautiful. And these women on my block that I grew up on, actually used to do my makeup for me for like my Sweet 16 and all the things I went to. And I knew I had to go into the business because I knew how it made me feel and how I could do that for so many women.
So you wanted to make women feel good about
Yeah,
themselves.
absolutely. But the funny thing is that, sidetrack, I studied at School of Visual Arts. I studied theater and film makeup. Just because it said it was a makeup course, not because I knew I wanted to go into theater and film. It said makeup. I was like, ooh, sign me up. And it was everything I
That's
did.
like how I chose things. I remember,
Is that right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember taking a class in college. It was communications law. And I thought it would be like for TV, where there would be cameras.
Ooh.
And it was not. It was a very hard class.
Oh,
with
really?
People who were really going to law school. And I was like, I need to get out of this class.
Did you stay with it?
I did. The teacher felt very sorry for me. He would be like, and some people try very hard. And I was like, oh my God, I feel retarded.
But you're not a quitter.
I'm not a quitter. But, you know, it makes sense to like read the directions.
Actually, I don't know. Because look at this. I mean, think about it. You have that under your belt.
Yes, I
You
do.
can speak to it.
Yeah.
And I, having stage and film makeup under my belt, taught me to be a better makeup artist. Because I learned about anatomy of the face. And I was there sort of naively. And I really learned makeup in a way that a lot of people don't learn it. So I think that's why I think that's why I was a better makeup artist, but also why I ended up in theater and film doing makeup that area.
So did you do that after Broadway? Because you talk a little bit about how Broadway didn't have money
No.
for makeup artists, and I don't think a lot of people know that because when we see everybody, they look so glamorous
No,
and
that's
put together.
right.
Is that still the case?
Still the case. In
Okay.
fact, for Broadway, there's a hair department where for wigs, but there's not a makeup department. And so I was brought in, and I feel right at home being in the heart of Broadway here.
Right
It's like,
here.
oh my
Yes.
gosh, I spent so much of my life here. I even worked in a makeup store here, but I was brought in by producers, costume designers, even sometimes the talent, because they were customers of this makeup store that I worked in, which is no longer existing, that sold stage makeup. And I knew how to teach people how to put like a bald cap on or a blood capsule and how to make it break open. And I would work with people like Kevin O'Quan and Francesca Scavullo and Wade Bandy. They would come into the store to learn how to use these things or buy these things. And so I was really steep in the history of theater and film early on in my career. And I got to grace the faces of some legends. Some are still around, but many are not. So it was a good time in my life.
Yeah, it's nice
Really
to have
was.
that experience. And you mentioned just the change in terms of the business, that when you first started, nobody really cared what was in the makeup, what was in the ingredients.
Can I just
and,
say-
and now it's a very different story.
I mean, I sold Max Factor pancake. There was nothing thicker and heavier and probably more toxic. But honestly, no one I knew died from it. And now I'm getting questions like, are your products gluten-free and are they vegan? Is it vegan-free?
Right, vegan
Are they
free, I don't know,
vegan-friendly?
yeah.
I just got that question
Are they
last night.
animal
So,
friendly?
well, animal
How can
cruelty-free
makeup
is
be
big.
gluten-free?
Well,
Is
my,
there wheat?
yeah,
in
you
these?
know
Yeah?
something, all of our we do baking out of Italy, and so all our products don't have additional fillers and binders, so they are gluten-free.
They are gluten-free.
The first time a friend of mine asked me about that.
Eating them? I mean, you know.
Well, you can ingest. I mean, listen,
Yeah,
it's our
okay.
pores, we know that. But it's a different time today.
Yeah.
People want to know that what you're using, and I get it, is good for you. So if we can do products that are sort of good for you, look good too, give you instant results, you know, we feel like we have that perfect marriage, and we've really nailed it. We really nailed it with our line.
There are a lot of people who would love to be a makeup mogul like you are, successful on QVC, a well-known personality, and now we'll get to it, but you have things international. You have Makeup International now.
Yes.
What do you think has helped you become that person? Because there's a lot of competition out there.
Oh boy. Well, I think it is a different time and day. I think it didn't hurt that I started at a time, although competitive, not nearly as competitive it is today. Getting noticed today is very hard. And I bet you it would have been a different game changer for me today, in today's day and age. So at the time that I launched my product in 1997, launched the line, there weren't a million brands on QVC that you would have heard of. That's a good question. I would venture that were probably, I don't know, maybe 20 brands. I mean, I could think of some of them in my head, but some of them were smaller, some of them were bigger. You know, there were big brands like Smashbox and Bare Essentials, but Joan Rivers was selling makeup at the time, and Tova Bordenheim was selling makeup at the time. And so, but I wasn't up against all the indie brands that are there. So I think I had a little leverage getting noticed earlier on and built a following and a fan base, which is really hard. You're right, it's hard to do.
But your fan base actually encouraged you to
They
create
did.
your own store.
Absolutely.
So you were just being a makeup artist, doing your thing, being fabulous, and then they would say, why don't you have your own makeup line?
It's so true. Do you know that everything that happened to me was because of you? If you're watching, I mean, literally.
We wanted you. We needed
No,
Laura
it's
Geller.
thank you. It's so
Yes.
true. I was doing private clients, and they would be like, "Why don't you open a makeup store?" And I'd be like, "Well, I don't know how to do that. I can't do that." And they'd be like, "No, you can do that." And I avoided it. And I waited years before I opened my boutique in 1993. It was on the Upper East Side. Do you remember?
Yes, I would come in frequently on my way to the office, and I loved being there because the ladies were so nice. They would
We
talk
had
to me
great
about
women.
my life. Nobody else asked me questions about my life. You know, I was going to be a therapist. It was my job to ask them.
That's right.
And I would find fabulous colors, and nobody would kind of force me to buy anything. It was just this wonderful place, and you were there. So I get to say, you know, socialize, say hello.
I mean, it was an oasis, really, and it was a refuge from the crazy city. And I think it really did happen in part and parcel by the demand. I think that's my whole career trajectory started with, you know, oh, why don't you do this Broadway show? A costume designer said to me, we need your help. And I'd be like, oh, I didn't expect to do that. That's how that happened.
Yeah.
And then opening my store happened because my clientele, I remember saying to them, listen, if I open it, like build it, will you really come? Will you really be there?
And we were there.
And you were there.
Yeah.
And people showed up by the droves. And I remember my space was too small. And I had to expand. I took the next door.
Oh, okay, maybe that's, yeah, because by the time I saw you, it was a larger space.
Yes, I took two stores and put them together. But everything really happened because I took risks. And I think I just went, no, 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 no. And I like literally would thrust myself into the opportunities that presented themselves.
You contributed to my book, Your Best Ages
Thank
Now.
you for having me.
Oh my God, I was so honored. And we
So
have
was
a
I.
blurb that you did, which we have right there. And
Boy, is that the truth.
we talk about saying yes to life and having a you only live once, a YOLO attitude.
Yes.
And that's what you've really employed in your career.
Boy, did I ever. I mean, I honestly, there were things that happened along the way. And School of Hard Knocks, I think we all can agree that nobody comes away unscathed from anything we do, whether it's being in business for yourself, having a family, whatever, being single, nobody walks away unscathed. And I had a lot of School of Hard Knocks, but I want to tell you something. That's what made me the person I am today.
In what way?
I think that I have a greater appreciation for the successes when they happen because I felt the lows.
Yeah.
I felt the torment. I felt the beat up. And I mean, don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm not saying that, you know.
No, but when you're humbled by life, and we all are, then you can appreciate the successes.
Yes.
And actually, it's during the tough times that I think we grow, that we think and we pause and we reposition ourselves. And I think it's very easy for a lot of people to look at you and just say, oh, you've only known success.
Yeah, and listen, that's why an opportunity like this, so thank you for having me, allows me to share that is so not the way it was. And by the way, even till today, I never sit on my laurels. I never think, oh, I made it, because I don't think I made it. I'm still running a business, and I still care about it, and I still want it to be cutting edge and relevant, and I care about the people who work with me and for me, and I'm plagued by that sometimes. Like literally, like aside from these moments and this opportunity and doing things and being on television, having fun.
And the people who work for you love you.
I'd like to think
so.
so.
Loyal boss. And
I'd like to
keep
think
people
so.
around, and they're very happy around you. So
I'd like to think so.
Must also add to your success.
Well, thank you for saying that. Listen, it's not easy. That may have been the hardest part of my career because, you know, you can't keep everybody happy all the time. But that's part of what I learned as a business owner is that you can't foresee what's going to happen. And it's comfortable to talk to other women who, whether you do it out of your house, whether you do it on a small level, a big level, we have one common thread, which is trying to make it while keeping everybody else happy around us.
Yes.
Family, employees, it's challenging.
It is challenging.
And you're always learning something new every day.
Absolutely.
Right?
What do you think you do that creates this special niche for yourself? You have a special niche at QVC. They call you the queen of QVC. So you're obviously bringing something special and different that we're not getting in other places.
Well, thank you for saying that. And I do feel like we have a point of difference. And I think, you know, I love my gals. I read my Facebook fan pages. I read all your comments on the QVC boards and just even at our office. I think what sets us apart is I am a working makeup artist that understands what women and men need to feel good about how they wake up and look every day. So things I create, while some may be just for trend, in and out, we call it, you know, a seasonal, everything we do, we have in mind that it's going to go in your hands and I'm not going to be there with you. And how are you going to respond to it? Is it going to make you feel good? Are you going to get instant results? Are you going to know how to do it? And so I think that touch and feel of the way I create products is what sets us apart and always has.
And you talk about how you really are a teacher. And
Yes.
that you really want to educate women, which I think is so important because,
Yeah.
you know, really makeup, you buy it, it looks one way in the store, and then you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to
Right.
recreate it. And you really teach women how they can create these looks for themselves.
It's so
and give them the
true.
confidence that they need.
One of my mandates with my pro makeup team that works in all of our retail doors that we're in all the Ultas, we're in, you know, lots of other places now, and I always say to my pro team, and some are off to the side today with me, I'll say, you know, please hand a mirror to the woman that you're working on, to the individual you're working on, because if they are being made up and they don't know what's happening to them, they're going to be like, I look good, but sayonara, sister, I don't know how to do it myself. So what good am I if I can't get and impart my tips and tricks across? And I think I am a natural educator that when I'm on QVC, I don't even realize it, but I'm told a lot by people, I learned makeup because of you.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's everything I need to
And
hear.
that goes back to your Miss Laura days when you were She actually taught at beauty school.
I did. I wound up starting a program at the very school that I attended where I got my cosmetology license, because when I went to beauty school, you had to become licensed, but they didn't have a makeup program. So I came back and I wound up teaching there, and I was Miss Laura to you.
And I bet your students loved you.
Oh my
Did you
gosh.
have to grade them?
Wait a minute.
Did they not love you?
They
That'd be
loved
hard to
me
believe.
so much, because here's what happened. We were on a little side, entrance of the beauty school, and they'd show up, and I'd go, let's go to the diner. And we'd go down to the diner for muffins in the morning. Oh, they had it good.
Yes.
And then they'd come back, and I'd be like, let's all exercise together. I was doing a lot of other things beside teaching makeup, but I taught aesthetics and waxing and skincare. It was all part of this program, and we had so much fun. And I hear from some of my beauty school students. Just the other day, I heard from somebody.
We could never get enough of you.
Oh,
What is your main beauty philosophy? It's you worked with celebrities, you worked with socialites, and you said, I want the real woman to feel glamorous and beautiful.
yeah. But by the way, those celebrities and socialites that I worked with, excuse me, they also are the real woman. I always said I don't differentiate, because when I worked with a lot of celebrities, they would say to me, how do I do this? Can you teach me? And I'd be like, you're really going to take the time to do it? But they wanted to know themselves, because they'd say, you know, you're not always here with me.
That's right.
So how can I recreate this look?
And in some cases, if it's the woman who always has someone helping them, then they really know less.
They're disadvantaged.
Because they
Totally.
relied on somebody else to be their
Totally.
go-to person.
Absolutely. And not that I wanted to be out of a job, but I found that even many times with my clients that could afford to have me when they needed me, I would teach, because it was innate in me. I felt like it was so empowering to see women smile and see them come alive. Like after I would do their makeup, there was nothing like that for me. That's the part I miss about my career, that I'm not able to do on a regular basis now, because I'm creating the product, I'm on television.
You just have to trust that it's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you hear the feedback from the women.
All the time, all the time. And that's the best part. I mean, I have fans that I'm in regular contact with, and part of many of their milestones in their life, I have them in my mind as I'm talking, and you know, and it's been a really interesting ride, and I feel like we are always creating new, so it's still going on.
No, you're still passionate about it. One of the things I loved when we spoke about doing this segment, you said, I really want to talk about size.
Yeah.
And size and beauty, and I'm comfortable talking about anything, and I was like, well, you know, let's do it then.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you brought it up, because I feel like I defied the odds a little bit. You know, I remember when I started in the business, and people in my industry were, you know, models and makeup artists that were all very fashion forward and slim. And I was one of the few, I mean, not many, that were plus sized. And I said, I'll be damned if that's going to keep me from putting my best face forward and making me feel that I'm any less and that I can't do what everybody else is doing. And that's a big part of the messaging, that I don't have to speak to it, but it allows women who believe that they can't to know that they can too.
And I think we've come a lot farther too.
Oh
when
my
it
gosh.
comes to understanding that beauty comes in every size and every shape.
Absolutely.
And, you know, everybody deserves to feel glamorous and beautiful, and it's not determined by what number you're wearing.
100%. Would I like to see a couple more plus size designers out there? Just saying.
Yes.
But on a separate
And
note.
maybe that goes for you too.
Oh,
Laura would like to wear your clothes. Just have to get a little bigger size. Yeah.
You just have to enjoy and find something you're passionate about. That's the key to everything.
I think so too. I want to make sure, because we do
Yes.
have a model.
Yes, we do.
And actually, the model brought us some cookies from Maria Loy, which is a
Look how beautiful
fabulous-
this is. Now,
Oh
it's
my
funny.
God,
I
it's
will tell you
amazing.
that my mother comes from a Turkish background, and this is her favorite thing. So if it's okay with you, Jacqueline, I may have to steal some. I'm seeing my mother tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this is her baklava. So thank you for bringing it.
Before we have you teach us how to be sexy for Valentine's
Yes,
Day, and have
let's
a look
show
about-
you.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
I have a quick five.
Oh,
Quick
I
five
heard about this.
questions.
Okay, yes, I love this.
Okay. So where we get a little bit in depth
Uh-oh.
about who the real Laura Geller really is. What used to be considered trashy but is now considered classy?
That's a good one.
Figured as a beauty expert you would like that.
Winged eyeliner.
Ah.
There was a time that women did, if you dared to put winged liner, they'd be like, really? I don't think so. Now, the cat eye and the wing liner, hello.
Very fashionable. Very fashionable. Tell me the three best things about you.
Wow. Do you really? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, you know.
No, I love people.
Yeah.
Is that the best thing about me?
Yes, I think so. Because there are a lot of people who don't like people.
I like to think that I spend a lot of my time trying to be kind and careful and considerate of others. And the third thing.
You're passionate
Oh, thank you.
about what you do.
Thank you. I'm passionate.
I'm always happy to help out with that.
Oh, I have a
Quick
lot of.
five.
I have passion.
If someone asked to be your apprentice and learn all that you know, what would you teach them?
Oh, this is easy. You better like people.
Oh.
You better like people, and you better be
What
caring.
if you don't like people?
Yeah, no, this is not the business to go into.
No, because you're very close to somebody's face.
That's right.
And so their energy is contagious.
That's right. I
Yeah.
used to say, it's really not about you. When you're taking care of somebody, it's got to be all about them, and they got to feel that. And truth be told, that was the most fun thing, was learning about people and caring about what they had to say. So much fun.
And they care about you as well. What celebrity would you rate as a perfect 10? Could be man or woman.
Now, not somebody that I worked on.
Not necessarily.
Oh, Rob
Anyone.
Lowe.
He is pretty cute.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah,
No,
he's-
just a perfect 10, meaning like he's just
Yeah, he's
I'm just
very
saying,
pretty,
you
right,
know,
I
but
know.
but there's a lot of perfect 10 celebrities
Right.
out there.
Don't
but
get jealous. Laura
Yeah,
likes
yeah.
you too.
I like you also.
Even if you're 9.5. If you had to change your name.
By the way,
what
Rob Lowe married his makeup artist.
That's right.
Where was I doing his
Yeah.
makeup? It didn't
How'd
happen.
you miss out on that opportunity?
I was going to say, I've done a lot of men, and nobody gave me a marriage proposal.
We're going to have to work on that.
All right.
All right, we'll keep looking. If you had to change your name, what would your new name be, and why would you choose that name?
Oh, boy, these are good questions. I'm going to have to mull that one over, but it might be Anna.
Okay.
I love the name Anna,
It's very
and I thought if I had a daughter, but I put the "on" in there to Daniel, to Daniel. I put the "an."
Because your adorable son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my grandmother was Anna, and I just think that's such a beautiful name. So I always used to think, Anna, how pretty would that be?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
thank you.
Well, we have Jacqueline. who's
Another
also-
beauty. Speaking of beauty.
Another beauty. Why don't you help us figure out what we need to do for
Yes.
Valentine's Day?
Yes.
So we could look our sexiest. Is there an age thing? Should we be mixing it up if we're in a certain age group now?
So you asked me what was trashy and is now classy.
Yes.
There might have been a time that somebody would have thought that glitter was trashy.
Right.
Maybe not trashy, but they would have said, I'm not putting that on.
And not day.
And not day. Well, guess what? This is the launch. By the way, this is the first time I'm holding this in my hand and sharing this right here on
Talking Live.
on Talking Live. So we call this High Def Glow. And this is actually a gorgeous highlighter, okay? And any brush, even a finger, okay, to use. You ready for this?
Yeah.
It is so stunning. You'll see it right away when I put it on.
Beautiful.
But you're going to see that. Whoa.
So that really highlights the
That
cheek,
makes
yeah.
that cheekbone pop. Now, she has the cheekbone.
Yes, she does.
But P.S. and by, if you're like me and you don't have the cheekbone, please put it on because it will make your cheekbone look lifted. It blurs and softens lines. You know, it's funny. The reason why I said a lot of women were afraid of shimmer and might have said that looks a little trashy is because they thought it brought out their lines. When in fact, one of the biggest makeup artist's secret is using something that has pearl because it sort of reflects the light,
Yeah.
refracts the light, and it blurs everything. But we paired the High Def Glow with glitter. Now this is nano ultra fine, so it's not the glitter that we used to wear back in the disco days, but you're asking like, why glitter? Because let me just say, there is nothing more juicy and beautiful. So this coffee to cocktails.
Yeah.
You start off with this during the day,
Okay.
you add this at night. Valentine's Day is around the corner. By the way, put this,
Nice.
just look at that on the décolleté.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you the truth. Contour and highlight are what women are always most interested in learning how to do.
And how much is something like this?
Oh, that's a good question.
We'll range.
I mean, I don't, 26.
We're here. What number do I hear?
You can have it
All right,
for,
it's something.
it's something, 20, I'm hearing
It's
the number
something you can
26.
afford.
Is that correct? Okay.
Okay.
But you could go to
My mental
laurageller.com.
age. It's good.
Yeah, and you can also go to qvc.com, I think, to
Yes.
get both of these things.
And we'll have links.
Yeah, good. Okay, so where do you put it? Top of the cheekbone. But here's where you're going to look like you drank a liter of water. And by the way, you don't have to be a makeup artist to do this. This may be the simplest technique because contour scares women. It's like, you know, the brown under the cheekbone. While I love it, you do have to have a skilled hand or at least know how to blend it after. So that's one of our brand new galactic launches.
exciting.
Everything is about really making things show
And this
up
works on
now.
anybody. So if somebody is on the fair side or darker side, everyone.
Can I just say, this is what I miss having the boutique.
Yeah.
But go into the Ulta stores because honestly, or when you watch me on QVC, our gals who work in our Ulta stores for us will show you and teach you.
They're really good that way too.
They really
They're
are.
very knowledgeable.
We have one of the
Nice.
greatest pro teams. Now this is what we call a topper. This is pink sapphire. Are you ready for this?
These are new too.
These
right,
are
Laura?
brand new. We have it in diamond dust and gilded honey. We have these toppers they convert your lipstick. So you wear whatever you love.
Yeah.
And you pop this on, and when you put this on, your lips look fuller. You have texture to your lips. So if your lips are dry and you see every line, you put a topper on top. You could do it in like the diamond dust, which is a platinum silver, or the gilded honey. And this is the pink sapphire.
That's nice.
And by the way, another brand new launch that I just am seeing for the first time, worked on it a year ago, but it's...
Laura was so funny. She's like, you know, sometimes I work on things
And
like
then I
so
forget.
far in advance, and then I forget. So it's like falling in love all over again.
I got so excited that
nice.
everybody brought this here today. So this is Line and Define, and it's this very fine micro precision tip that you use to create that wing liner.
That wing look.
So I just have to say, you know,
I'm just stealing some of your lip gloss because I'm going to put it on top of what I have.
I wish you would. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of women will say to me, I put eyeliner on, and it looks like it disappeared by the end of the day. Like my eyes don't have the strength. Like the liner doesn't feel as strong as when I first applied it.
Is that what happens?
And that's what happens with liner.
It wears
And,
off.
and listen, the color is not as enriched.
Okay.
So if you could take a liquid liner, I think you could see this on our beautiful model, Jacqueline. Oh, thank you for giving me your gorgeous face tonight, by the way. If you can put this on, even on top of your pencil, what you're doing is you're creating strength to your eyes. Now, I don't like liquid liner underneath. I like it on top only.
me too.
But on the bottom, we have this, and by the way, these line and defines come in all different colors.
Oh.
So we have it in this gorgeous gold that goes underneath, that has this sort of metallic like shimmer underneath. That's just going to make the eye look like it has a dance to it. So that coupled with the highlighter, I would just say, if you're getting ready for Valentine's Day, if you're thinking about date night, if we're going to come to your restaurant for Valentine's Day,
Maria Loy.
Chef Maria Loy, yes. Loy
That's fantastic. The
Estiatorio.
food's amazing.
yeah, it's right here in Midtown,
Right
right?
here in Midtown.
Yes.
Do they still have availability for Valentine's Day?
I would call it as soon as you can.
Wait, can you come even if you don't have a date?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can come with the friends and the girlfriends. Okay. Okay, good. So that's the fabulous line and define. And then we have,
This is really new to 2018, right?
By the way,
it's all about the glitter and the sheen.
I have never in 20 years at QVC introduced something with glitter. Ever, ever. And I would have told you, please don't put that on. But we made this an ultra fine nanospheres that actually create this plumping effect and this gorgeous finish to the skin. And so I would ask you for the first time to rethink everything I taught you and leap into it, because you're going to have so much fun. And I have to warn everybody because people are going to steal it from you. And this shadow palette's brand new. It's called Celestial Bliss. So you've got your taupey colors, which are great lid colors, and your highlight colors for under the brow. But they're all, look at that.
Look at that.
I mean, that's going to
That's
pop.
like cosmic.
We're calling it out of this world galactic.
Yes.
And so it's this whole galactic. Is that gorgeous?
Oh, it's great. It's like Star Trek inspired.
You know, I just want to say about makeup, it's one of the reasons why I went into it. You can always wash it off.
That's right.
And start over.
And it's like recreating yourself.
Yeah.
It's like looking at a new person
Exactly.
in the mirror, which is really nice.
I say step out of the box and do something you haven't done in a long time.
Get creative.
Maybe it's just the topper lip gloss, or maybe it's just adding highlight. But I think for those of you who are tuning in, my message about makeup is don't take it so seriously. And my philosophy is, you know, no instructions required. As long as you're blending and you're age appropriate and doing things that make you feel good. There's no right or wrong. There's no rules.
I love how you say, like, even if someone makes a mistake, so what? They usually look great anyway. And from a psychological perspective, sometimes feeling good happens from the outside in.
I say that all
You know,
the time.
it really does. And sometimes you don't feel your best. You have to fake it till you make it. You put on that lipstick. You put on that makeup. You act as if you make yourself feel glamorous, and you go and step out into the world.
You know, it's funny, when I had my studio, it was near your office.
Oh, yes, yes.
And a lot of your patients,
Yeah?
you probably don't know this.
Oh, I didn't know this.
A lot of your patients came into our studio prior to seeing you or after seeing you, because you would recommend them to go.
Oh, yes.
And to pick up a lipstick to make themselves
I thought you
feel.
were going to say, well, the therapy didn't work out. They
No,
told me
no,
go to you.
no.
I feel better, but that was okay with
Your
me.
practice was incredible, and the woman that came in, they would share with me. They'd be like, "I just came from seeing Dr. Robbie," and
my
I'd be
God,
like,
that's so funny.
"I'd be like, I know exactly why you're
I
here.
probably
Let's
did
play."
recommend that. Oh, God.
So I just want you to know that if you're recommending, and
Yes.
I'm a makeup artist,
Yeah.
I would say to anybody listening, I don't care who you are and what age you are, you know what? You too deserve the right to feel good.
Absolutely.
No matter what's happening.
So right now we have.
Just make you even.
These are the major new.
So these are all the
pieces to your
major
line.
new launches that we're showing right now. They're available at laurageller.com. Anywhere else? They will be in all the Ulta stores too. See, this is the stuff I don't get involved in. I get involved in the creation, but it's really sort of it's all the galactic, you know, all these gorgeous shimmers and warm glitters and line and
And
defines.
I'm looking up close and personal. It is really beautiful. How do you feel?
It's extremely light. You feel like
You're
you don't
looking
feel like you're
yourself.
wearing
Yeah,
anything.
it's beautiful. They're very nano fine spheres.
Yeah.
So you don't see yourself. Now, we already had Renee do her beautiful makeup, so thank you, Miss Renee,
Yes, thank you.
for accompanying me here tonight. And she obviously went, when she started, we said, from coffee, and this is more for
Right.
cocktails.
It's beautiful.
You know?
It's beautiful.
Oh, and you're beautiful.
You're beautiful, and I just adore you. What is next for you before we end talking live?
Well, I have.
We know there's Europe.
Yes, I'm going to QVC UK.
That's
We have our line in the United Kingdom. I have shows coming up in February. And lots more in store from Laura Geller that you're going to hear about that I'm working on.
Well, we are really excited about it, and hopefully you'll come back anytime.
Oh, thank you.
And just launch whatever it is you want to launch.
Really, thank you.
Absolutely. Open invitation.
Oh my God, I love this.
I
woman.
love you. Thank
Heart of
you
gold.
so much for joining us. Here's to having a very wonderful Valentine's Day. We will be back next week, but we want you to have a very sexy Valentine's Day and a glamorous, beautiful one. And now you can. There's no excuse. We'll see you next week.